Welcome back to Swim Stories Unplugged, the podcast where we dive deep into the raw tales from the pool. No filters, just the thrill of the water and the stories that make us who we are. I'm your host, Hetal Sampat, and today we are splashing into an inspiring journey with Jennifer Kyff, a lifelong swimmer, a dedicated coach, and a fierce advocate for the healing power of the sport. From her earliest splashes in infant swim classes at the Y to medaling at nationals, rediscovering her competitive fire through masters, and even channeling her passion into raising thousands for cancer research. Jennifer's story is a testament to resilience, family legacy, and the meditative magic of moving through water. Whether you're a beginner building your stroke or a seasoned swimmer chasing the top tens, there's something here for you to fuel your next lap. So grab your goggles, settle in, and let's get unplugged. Jennifer, welcome to Swim Stories Unplugged. How are you?
Hi, pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm good. So we're going to get started, and we have three segments. The first one is the first splash. So tell me about the memory you had when you first went into the water, or
First
when you.
or when, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Or either you went into the water, or the first time you started training.
Well, I would say the first time I went into the water, I don't remember.
Okay.
My mother told me about it. So I think she brought me to the Y either in Yonkers or White Plains, and it was an infant class. And I guess I enjoyed it. She put me in swim lessons ever since that point. My first really concrete memory is probably at Ardsley Middle School as a child, like jumping into the water. My best friend was there learning to swim too. My sister learned there. Probably Sprain Ridge Pool. I have a lot of childhood memories of that pool and the lake that we would go to every summer.
Ah, nice. So was it a family thing, or was it something you remember as it was something that you did, like, just your sister and your friends?
Well, at the lake, my whole family would get into the water. I would say my sister and I swam more, and probably with the kids next door as well. Like every summer, we would be in the water probably every day. My family would probably canoe more or fish more. My dad would snorkel, but I wouldn't say my mom and dad are like huge swimmers. They're not really big swimmers. My dad had to, I guess, pass a test for the Coast Guard for swimming.
Okay.
And I know my mom took swim classes in college because she really wanted to learn to swim better
Mhm.
because her mother wasn't allowed to swim.
I see. Okay. And so it sounds like you're a family of swimmers.
Yeah, everyone's in the water, I would say. My sister doesn't swim as much anymore. I'm probably the one. My mother takes aquasize or aqua fitness classes now, and I'm still swimming masters.
Nice. That's great to hear how you all started, and it's like a family thing almost, at least when you were starting out your journey. So
Yeah,
tell me.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
I would say what was important was because my grandmother wasn't allowed to swim, and there was like a fear of the water on that side. My mother made it sure that we as kids knew how to swim.
Yeah. I can hear the mother's voice making sure, like, you have those skills of life safety. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. And so since you joined middle school when you were training, you remember what your training was like, or do you remember your specialty in stroke, or
Well,
any kind of memory that you have?
unique about my experience was I I never really had a desire to compete as a kid. So I was in all these swim lessons for a
Okay.
year. And one time, I guess a teacher said to my mother, you know, maybe you should put her on a team. I think she could be pretty good. And my mother asked me, she said, do you want to go on a team? And I didn't understand why I would want to go on a team. And she said, well, you could win ribbons. I was like, I don't really want ribbons. So I had no competitive desire or spirit
Mm-hmm.
at all. It didn't really, I didn't really get it. And
Okay.
when we were, I don't know, I was 12, which I was pretty old at that point. We tried a technique class with a swim team. And the swim team really wanted my sister because she was younger and I was older at that point. So they weren't sure how much, what they could really get out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up joining the team. But at the time, my mother had an illness. So we were only on that team for 9 months. So I had 9 months of training on a USA team.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the next year I went to high school in 10th grade because Yonkers went through desegregation and the years of high school were kind of like shortened to 3 years in that year. And there was a swim team there and I joined that team. And I maybe was in the water 3 times a week or 2 times a week. Certainly not the training that most kids get on like true swim teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I swam there, and then when I hit my senior year, it was done. I didn't swim again.
Oh, so then you were not swimming after your senior year in high school?
No, I went to art school. I went to Pratt Institute, and I didn't touch a pool for over 10 years.
Okay. So when you took a sabbatical for 10 years, and when did you come back to masters?
So what happened was 2004, I think I had just had my appendix out. I had a lot of anxiety. I heard my sister had joined masters. I thought, gee, maybe I should, get back into swimming again just for exercise and mental health. And it was a big step to do it because I remember swimming out in a Y like several years later, just lap swimming, and the lifeguards saw me and like created a workout, and then someone else gave me a full packet on masters, but I never signed up. I never found a team.
Okay.
So my sister was working at Parks at the time, and the aquatics director that she had hired started a masters team, and my sister was on it. So just as I joined the team, my sister left the team, and I started swimming there. And I would say the first couple of weeks, like I could only swim a couple laps, and then I just kind of built on that. And then the voices of my coaches from the Silver Streaks kind of cropped up in my head, and my drive came back because I really learned how to compete through the Silver Streaks. Just in those 9 months. When I joined my high school team, I thought I was going to be terrible because on the streaks, I had to work my way up. I was a pretty tall kid. So you could say I was like 5'9", swimming in a lane with 5-year-olds when I started, and they were running me over. So when I got to high school, in my mind, psychologically, I never thought I was very good, even though I did get better.
Mm-hmm.
And in high school, I didn't do terrible considering the time we had to practice, but I never really reached my full potential. I think we got to sectionals, and I had just made the cutoff with a 50 free at 28 seconds in yards, which isn't incredibly fast, but I didn't get to states because I didn't do well enough at that meet. And then I went to art school and I didn't swim again. So then I was in masters in 2004, kind of, just going for fitness. And then one day I had a friend in masters say, I think you should come to nationals. And I was like, nationals? I'm not ready for that. And she was like, oh, you should come. It'll be a lot of fun. And I had a coach at the time who told me, you'll never break a 28. No one at this age ever breaks their times. He's like, you won't break it. And I got so mad when he said that. I just started swimming as hard as I could. And I got tech suits for nationals. I think tech suits are starting to become the thing then, because my first nationals was 2005. And we went down there and I hit a 27.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I got one medal. And that's kind of where the bug started. I felt like, oh, wow, I could really break the times that I had in high school, and I could start, training again. And what I did was I knew just training with Yonkers Masters wasn't going to do it, because our team is very laid back. And I wrote an email to my coach that I had originally been on the team when I was 12. And I said, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I just started Masters. And she invited me to come. So I trained with the Silver Streaks from 2006 to about 2012.
Oh, okay. So for a good 6 years.
Yeah, I swam with teenagers on a USA swim team. So that was kind of mainly where I was swimming during those years. I would practice with them maybe about 3 times a week, sometimes 4. And then it just got to a point where when you start to get older, it's harder to recover. It just hurt a lot. And, I in 2012, I kind of was losing that drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So excuse me, what happened when you were were at that stage where you were starting to lose your drive? Did you continue swimming, or did you what did you do?
Oh, I stopped. I kept competing with Masters. I just wasn't I wasn't swimming actively with her team as much. I'd still call her after competitions and talk to her. My coach passed away in 2021, which is a shame.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I am too. I was just thinking about her the other day, and I miss being able to just call her and talk to her about swimming. We used to talk about swimming all the time, and really the gift she gave me was incredible, because she gave me the training I needed to really do well. And there were 2 competitions. Like, I went out to Seattle in 2007 and medaled 6 times in short course championship. I've made 22 top 10 times with 1 relay. And then
congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
In 2014, I medaled 6 times again at a long course event. And it really is due to like her gift of, helping me kind of get where I wasn't able to get because I was taken off her team when I was younger. So I found this. These are like a top 10 patches that I have on my Silver Streaks jacket.
Okay.
So
wow.
I wore this jacket, from 2006 to, about, up until recently, but I don't wear it as much now because it means so much to me. I just keep it in the closet, but
wow, and it has all the top 10 on both the sleeves. That's amazing that you have this souvenir and you can wear it anytime that you want and when you feel it.
Yeah, and I was looking back today before the calls. I was just getting the timeline of all the nationals that I had gone to, and I was like, wow, it's been a while. It's been a long time. So
right, yeah. And on the USMS, the article that you shared with me that has that says that's embrace the fly. So tell us about was it what events were you swimming? Were you swimming the butterfly, or was it just was it the fly just to tell people that you can fly and soar no matter where you are in your journey?
Well, that's a nice metaphor, although I don't think I meant it like that. I think I became obsessed with the fly because I thought took a lot of core strength to be able to do it. I also wasn't great at the fly when I started Masters. I didn't even have a good stroke. So I spent time going to camps. Total Immersion had a 4-stroke camp at the time, and Terry was still alive. And I remember going up to New Paltz and staying at a college there and just, working on all their drills for a good week. And then, when I started getting serious about Masters and just getting very competitive in it, I wanted to make top 10, but there were years that went by where I didn't even come close, or I knew I was like, this is unrealistic. I'm never going to get it. And then one year, I think it was after I went down to the race club, because I went to that camp in 2008, and I was sick at the time, not realizing it. I was having trouble with asthma and all these different things. And what happened was, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. I can always edit it.
I was going to the race club. Do you know where I was headed with that?
No, I don't. You were talking about your journey from. Oh my gosh, I lost it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was about learning the fly.
Fly, yeah.
Yeah, so I had gone to these different camps. I got better in it. And about the time I went down to the race club, I was very discouraged because I wasn't getting better times. I felt like I was getting more sick. And I was diagnosed with celiac disease at that point. So I didn't realize like a lot of the problems I was having some health issues. It was due to celiac. So Masters actually kind of unlocked that, because I don't think if I was training at that level, I don't think my body would have been breaking down the way it was. And I don't know if I ever would have discovered I had celiac. But anyway, I got top 10. I think my first top 10 was about 2008, and I didn't realize I had gotten it because I had swam short course meters.
Okay.
So I'm giving away my strategy here, but what I realized is for short course meters and long course meters, more swimmers don't make those races.
Okay.
So if you pick strokes or events that people are less likely to do, your odds of getting top 10 are increased.
Right.
So something like the 200 fly, which a lot of people don't want to swim, you might have a better chance of getting top 10 in that than say the 50 free.
Okay, right.
So that's really where embracing the fly came from.
Right. Okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah. But also I think, it takes a lot of strength to do the stroke. And if you want to get better at sprinting, or I think, if you're good at that stroke, you might have strength in the other ones as well.
Okay. And it's I meant to ask you, when you have these top 10 times and when you were training for the fly, did you or do you previously or currently do any kind of dry land strength training or any of those things?
I should, and I don't. And
okay.
that's something I need to get better at. I'm going to start PT soon for my shoulders, because I'm actually starting to wind down in swimming and doing it basically more for fitness and less competing, because I hurt. I have arthritis, and I need more of a kind of a gentler time in the pool now for me.
Okay.
As opposed to, I don't have the drive, and I don't think my body's up to it either, to push the way it used to.
Okay. When you had if you would have had to pick any other stroke, would you pick another stroke or would you still be with the fly?
I guess it would depend on what I was trying to achieve.
Okay.
20 top 10. The fly's probably the only way I'm going to get it, unless I got my times down in backstroke, which I've gotten a lot slower. So I was looking today. I was contemplating, oh, could I make top 10 in the 200 fly in short course meters? And I was looking at the times. I honestly don't know what my time would be swimming it. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know if I'll make it or not. But another stroke, I really did enjoy the backstroke. I did well on that too. The breaststroke is the one I struggle with. It's a lot harder for me.
It's a lot. Okay. And uh, the would you say that you have swum any of the IM events at all?
Oh yeah. I last summer I actually DQ'd in the 400 IM, which was a shame because I would have gotten a medal
Mm-hmm.
if I had not DQ'd. But I've swam the 400 IM, I've done the 200 IM, the 100 IM. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And have you had any top 10 in those at all?
I would have to go back and look if I got one in the 400 IM. It's possible,
It's
uh,
possible. Okay.
but not recently.
Okay. Not recently. All right. I was looking through the link that you shared, and mostly it seems like 200 fly,
Mhm.
200 back, and one 400 IM,
Yeah.
which
Um,
was in 2023 short course meters in Metropolitan LMSC.
yeah.
I don't know if that rings a bell, but is
Yeah.
that clear? That's close to you?
Yeah. That was probably out in Long Island.
Yeah.
Was that for
Okay.
course meters for the 400?
Yes. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at it. It's 400 IM.
Hmm.
And yes, 2023 short course meters. And it says the club was WM, which I understand is probably the Masters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We've always been Yonkers Masters, but for a short period of time, we kind of rolled under Westchester Masters, which disbanded. Um,
ah,
that version of Westchester Masters is no longer around.
Iran. Okay. And METR is
No, the
no,
silver
Silver Stick?
silver streaks won't show up in Masters. That was a USA team.
USA team. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So if anything, a few of my national times might be recorded in USA records, but I mean, for USA times, my times were not that great. I was just
No,
kind of average if that.
no, of course I get that. And you have when you are at an age and you want to just swim for fitness, or you feel like your body is probably not like with any kind of as we or as a woman, when you're aging up, I am sorry, I don't mean to say that you are old or anything by any means, but I hope I'm saying this respectfully. As you age up, I know bodily changes happen, and
Yeah.
there are ways of how you manage that. So I kind of understand how that would go for you as well.
Well, I'm definitely a lot older than when I started. So it's 20 years
Mm-hmm.
I've been swimming masters, and my body's changed a lot. I'm just not the same as I was when I was
But
30.
yeah,
It's a
that's
fact.
that is a fact. And I'm in my early 40s, and I have uh been swimming only for what, 18, 20 months maybe now.
Mhm.
So I mean, I can feel the difference when I'm going out hard or going all out. So I can can definitely relate to you, that I can definitely say that. And I see that you're a coach. So are you still coaching?
Yeah, so I coach the slower swimmers at Yonkers Masters. So I help them with technique. That's what I like to specialize in. I'll come and I'll run them through a workout. It's helpful to work with that lane because a lot of those swimmers are adult learn to swim. They've never been on a team before or a club, and it's about kind of enforcing, like the right habits in the lane, like how to get through a workout effectively, that type of thing. And then what I do is I try to step, for people that don't know all four strokes, I try to step them up into all four strokes. Probably, starting out with kicking first and then working into drills and eventually getting them going.
I like that because I'm an adult learn to swim because I did not learn. I mean, I used to only leisurely swim, and that's kind of fascinating to me. So I think I want to come join you in your one of your practices.
Yeah, sure. We have a drop-in policy, so you're welcome for sure.
Yeah, like I think that like I'm working on techniques and all four strokes right now, and every time I get something, I'm like, okay, now I'm able to put my hand together when I'm like doing my flip turn, and I can feel the difference. I'm like, wow, that little change in how you're holding your streamline. This is as of yesterday was like I felt so good. I was like, okay, well, even as an adult I can learn how to swim. So when my coaches tell me that, I'm like, what do they mean? Like I don't understand, but when I actually try that in the water, I'm able to see that difference. So I just wanted to share with our listeners, if they're listening and they're thinking about swimming and they're around in the Yonkers area, they should probably go to you and not hesitate to start even at whatever age they are as an adult as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like we have all different levels. And my story really is, if you weren't able to do it in high school, you could do it in masters. You can make it what you want it to be. Like it could be you just want to go for fitness and that's it. You could, set a goal of I really want to compete and knock down my times and get as fast as I can. You can make it what you want it to be, which is
Sure. Yeah, I really like that about masters, like where everybody just comes together as a community, and I really enjoy being a part of the masters team.
So do you know all four strokes right now? Did you learn them all?
I am learning them. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I can swim, and I've done events in all four strokes, but at the same time I cannot say that I know all of them because I'm still making my way through learning them every day. So
yeah, I'm still working on mine. So
yeah. What else can you share with us about your swim journey? What else would you like to share?
well, I know, in short, I started writing the blog and then stopped because I don't know, like probably it's more of a disinterest at this time. At one time I was so into it because I wanted to tell my entire swim story, which basically was, I enjoyed being in the water as a kid, and then, I ended up on this swim team and didn't really know what I was doing, and then kind of found a competitive edge there. And just as I was getting my feet, wet, or so to speak, and getting to know the routine there, I got pulled out. Then I got, back into it in high school for a little bit, and then I was out of the water for a long time. I don't know, like it helped me unlock, knowing I had an autoimmune disorder. It helped me in times where I might have felt, depressed or had some anxiety, because I think the water is a very healing place. Like just coming and, doing strokes and breathing is very meditative. So it can easily just kind of clear your mind. When that's all you're focusing on, it's hard to think about other things. I also, there's a component to water which I don't think other kind of sports have. Like when you're in the water, it's brushing up against your skin. So you're getting kind of like touched by the water, as well as you're physically moving, as well as you're breathing. So you have all these different kind of sensations going on. And I don't know, for me, it's how I become a lot more relaxed, for sure.
That sounds like water therapy right there. I think a lot of us who are in the sport of swimming, and a lot of people who are in there can definitely relate to that. And what a perfect day to talk about the mental health on World Mental Health Day. So I'm gonna ask you a little bit of question. You can not answer if that you don't feel comfortable.
Mm.
Do you think that helped, like, swimming helped you with your mental health as you went into masters at all?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it helped me grow a bigger social base. It definitely helped me with mental health for sure. Um, yeah.
That's great to hear. And what do you have any particular goals that you have for yourself as a swimmer? Right now, I know you mentioned that you probably want to just do it for fitness, but what about in coaching?
So here are some goals that I have as a coach when I'm coaching the team. So I set a goal each year to raise 20K for Swim Across America. Our team is Yonkers Masters Cancer Warriors. To help swimmers in Sea Lane achieve their goals, I usually ask everyone to think about a goal, whether it's just coming 2 times a week or going to a meet or learning a stroke better. It could be anything they want, basically. My goal is to teach all swimmers all 4 strokes. Some swimmers are interested. I would say most are, some not as much. Encourage the entire team to make 2 meets a year. So usually in the fall, we go to the meet in Eisenhower. That's free to us. And we try to make one in the spring. I encourage the whole team to participate in an open water event. Usually we do the Greenwich 1 mile. Swim Across America has an open water aspect to it too, so that could tick that box. We encourage, or I try to encourage, good lane etiquette and a friendly vibe between team members. So that's one of the traits of being on Yonkers Masters. We try to be friendly to everyone who comes in, and then work with swimmers that are new to the sport to improve their technique, speed, and endurance in general. So those are my goals as a coach. Thanks. I'm on deck once a week, or I'm trying to encourage the team to get to a meet maybe once or twice a year, or whatever I choose to focus on to try to help the club. But I don't really have a lot of time. I kind of I'm in awe of my coach on this, who ran the Silver Streak, Skay Silverman, because she dedicated her life to it. She was on deck like probably 6 days a week, sometimes 2 times a day. It takes up a tremendous amount of time when you're coaching full time. A lot.
A lot, for sure.
Yeah. So for me, I don't know, for swimming, for my goals, it would probably just to stay fit and to stay in good enough shape that I can still swim, because I'm starting to deal with arthritis issues and some thinning cartilage, and things don't feel the way they used to.
Mm-hmm.
And then open water, like I want to stay in good enough shape. I've gone on a couple swim truck trips, and I really do enjoy swimming outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope to get on another one of those trips someday.
That's nice. Where have you been on your travels on the swim track?
Well, for my big birthday, I went to Greece in 2023. That was
Mm-hmm.
a great trip. It was leisurely. My second trip with them, I went to the Galapagos,
Oh, nice.
which felt more like a survival trip, because I just didn't get the concept that we would be like in the deep ocean. So you're swimming around these huge islands, like out in the sea. That trip was incredible because you'll see a lot of wildlife,
Mm-hmm.
probably more than I'll see anywhere else. So it makes that trip very unique in that way.
So what, like, I'm gonna ask you this. I'm not because I'm not very comfortable in open water unless I can see below me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm gonna ask this, like, do you see below you in Galapagos when you had gone, or was it just like a lot of you can't see and then you just like see creatures just appear next to you as you're swimming?
I think it really depends where you are, because as you're closer to like island shorelines, you can see starfish and sea urchins and the cliff, and you can definitely see down. Like in the Mediterranean, you can see that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do open water around here, like off of Greenwich or Long Island, you cannot see anything.
Yeah. Uh, I am like, and I tried one lake swim last year,
Hmm.
and it was a little nerve-wracking for sure. And I don't know, like, I could like swim when we went to Maldives last year. So I was like, because I could see below me. I mean, I didn't mind the creatures. I enjoyed watching all of them in the water, but that was something I was very worried when I go about open water. So that's, I mean, I don't know if it's something I need to overcome or if that's going to be there for a long time, but it always worries me.
I don't know. I mean, when I talk to people who I'm coaching that may have fear of like deeper water, I say, hey, that's a good thing because it's
Hmm.
keeping you safe. Like obviously you don't feel safe,
Hmm.
and that's the most important thing. Like even in a pool, like if someone's scared of the deep end, like why are you scared of the deep end? It's natural. Like, it's
Right.
water over your head. When I was out on the Galapagos trip, there was a swimmer who was like worlds above me in swimming. Like she swam her whole life out in California, like phenomenal swimmer. But at certain points, she would just get out because it looked too deep to her, and she wasn't going to swim anymore. So even she had that kind of like, I don't know, like switch in her where she was like, okay, this feels very, very deep, and I don't want to swim anymore today. You know.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Some people just have that. I don't know what it is with open water. Maybe it's because I was in the lake so much as a kid. I rarely feel fearful. In the Galapagos, I would say the first day we went out, I had a little bit of anxiety because the swells were big. They were, I don't know, 4 feet, 5 feet, and it was hard to see the group, and you're going up and down these huge swells. But I don't know. I've always worked through it. I've done races with big swells out on Long Island. I swam San Francisco Bay with big swells, having trouble seeing the buoy. I've been in a lot of different conditions. I swam Alcatraz. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of based on the person.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And we were is there anything you'd share with our listeners who'd be considering starting to swim or learn as an adult from the voice of a coach? What would you tell them?
Well, I would say, definitely don't get discouraged. And when I work with adult learn to swim, I constantly tell them, you've got to, make it, if you want to be a swimmer, you just have to get in the pool, take the lessons, and then, lap swim, join masters. You just have to make it like part of your routine. Because you can take swim lessons, but if you're not swimming all the time and building those muscles, and like if you can dedicate the time to it and this is what you want to do, you can do it. Just don't get frustrated because it will take a lot of practice. Like it was funny this year, our LMSC had like, I don't know, this certain gift they gave out if you swam like so many yards. And I was like, oh, I didn't swim a lot this summer. And then when I added it all up, I was like, wow, I did 50,000 yards in this time period, and I didn't even realize it. So once you get going, you're in a pool like 2 times a week, 3 times a week. You'll be amazed on if you're doing like 2,000 yards a week or 2,300, 2,500 or more, you're doing a lot of yardage. And the more yardage you're doing, the more you're learning,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would just say don't get discouraged. Just keep going.
That is definitely great advice for people who are learning to swim, and I'm definitely going to keep that. And I do have it was a good refresher for me as well, because I sometimes get discouraged very easily sometimes when I'm trying something and it doesn't work, especially because especially technique. So I
Mhm.
think that is something I needed to hear as well. I hope the listeners also enjoy and take away from it.
Yeah, filming can help, watching videos, getting feedback from a coach. Those are all things that can help with technique. And sometimes it's not easy to change stuff. Like I just got filmed recently, and when I saw my breaststroke, I was like, oh my God, I'm doing that again. It's like you
Right.
don't even realize until you see yourself like, oh, I'm pointing my hands down and I should be pointing them more, parallel to the surface. So,
Right.
there's always something to work on.
Yeah. And when you say video, do you mean like underwater or surface level videos?
Underwater. They did some surface too, but you
Mhm.
really do need the underwater. There's a little bit on the surface that I can comment on as a coach, but I need to see what's happening underwater too to help people.
Or be better.
it-
Yeah.
it's like it's a 360 picture, really. You need kind of both.
Both. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering, right? Because above the surface of the water, you can see them, but what is happening underwater is what I think will help a lot more, right?
It can. I mean, I know from just looking at from the top of the water, like if I see the position of the kick, not like the legs hanging down, I know, okay, well, we need to work on the kick. If I see the movement of the kick happening more in the knees, like they're running, I know, okay, they don't know how to kick properly, so that's dragging them down. So there's certain positions that you can see the body in
Mm-hmm.
above the surface where these are problems.
Mm-hmm.
But what's harder to see is when a swimmer is catching and the elbow isn't high and
Mm-hmm.
they might be dragging with a straight arm. That
Right.
that's more difficult to see from above the water. And
Above.
those are important things, because if they're not catching the water correctly, that's going to impact their speed and
That would create drag or resistance, right?
efficiency. For
Efficiency.
sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of adult learn to swim swimmers, drop the elbow. I call it kind of petting the cat. Like they're not grabbing the water efficiently in the front when they're
Mm-hmm.
back. So that's definitely something to work on. I do a lot of fist drill with my lane, because it helps enforce this area of the arm where you're pulling water.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I just practiced the fist drill this morning. Yeah.
do you
Some
like it, or is it your
I
pet peeve?
I like it, but it makes it harder for me to swim.
Mhm.
And I know it's probably because I'm not exercising some part of the muscle correctly, or maybe I don't have that high elbow completely for the when your arm comes out of the water.
Mhm.
So that becomes very difficult, and it's been a long time since I practiced that. So I was like, that's why I was practicing it this morning.
Well, it can help your shoulders too. Like if you're having shoulder issues, which I
Hmm.
was for a while, I had lost a little bit of cartilage on this one. Um, Doing fist drill takes a lot of resistance. You're losing the hand resistance.
Hmm.
So it makes it, sometimes I do that warming up. I'll just the fist drill one lap and then I'll come back with full hands. Or if they still feel tight, I'll swim fist drill maybe 4 laps, 5 laps. So I do a lot of it now. I do more of it.
You do more of that. Okay. I'll definitely keep that in mind, and I'll make sure I'm practicing that as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good drill. I really do.
Any other drills that are your favorite that you tell the swimmers, like, suggest to them to swim?
Yeah, well, with my group, I like them to get short flippers because a lot of them don't have strong kicks, and not to become dependent on them, but I think it's good to use them in practice because it gives the swimmer the sense of where their kick should be versus
Mhm.
they're not on. It also can help strengthen your legs. I like to practice vertical kicking with them to try to get the kick where it needs to be. Um, as far as drills go, I like catch-up drill, which was a lot of kicking, kind of tricks people into kicking more when they're still stroking. I like 3 strokes and then 6 kicks on your side. So I do a lot of different kicking drills. I get them to do fly on their back, fly on their front, backstroke kick. We throw in a little breaststroke kick. And then other drills. Yeah, sometimes we'll do right arm, left arm,
Mhm.
and then catch up and both. We do a variety of different things. Sometimes I'll even have them do dog paddle.
What is that drill? I haven't heard of that one.
So you literally swim dog paddle, which I have a way of doing it where you kind of pull the water and then you can recover the hand so you're not dragging, so maybe it's something more like this. But I have them play around with dog paddle basically is kind of a sculling movement.
Moment, right.
Yeah, and that's what's important and when you're swimming dog paddle, your head's out of the water, so it takes a lot more strength.
Mhm.
So we might do that for a 25 and then do regular freestyle coming back. I'll mix things up like that,
Right.
and then it kind of imprints in the swimmer, oh, okay, my head was way out of the water here. Now my head's in the water.
Mhm.
How much more efficient am I?
Do you have any tips you'd suggest for if there are other coaches listening and looking to improve themselves?
I would say watch a lot of YouTube. There are a lot of videos out there that are really informative. Just the other day on Instagram, I don't know the Instagram handle, but I think their workouts were posted on the USMS site.
Mm-hmm.
They were the coolest workouts. They had all these little doodles and sets that were very creative and mixed up and had a lot of different things to do. And I was pulling things from them because, sometimes I think habits are good. I was reading the other day that Michael Phelps traditionally did the same warm up all the time because
Mm-hmm.
like a home base for him. It was something that made him feel comfortable. But sometimes I think it's good to kind of change things up and experiment. Like when I went down to the race club in 2019 and I worked with Gary Hall Sr., that's something that they do. They play with all sorts of types of equipment. They're buying, different fitness gadgets, and they're always experimenting and trying new things. So I would say, as a coach, get on the Go Swim webinars, watch videos, read articles. I've done tons of that over the years, listening to other coaches, my coaches, observing what they do. So all ways of learning new stuff.
Always, yeah, different ways of, and always learning, because the sport has so much to offer.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have another swim story that you can share with us, Jennifer?
Yeah, actually, it's interesting. I used to shy away from fundraising. It wasn't anything that ever really appealed to me. And then I think it was in 2020, the head of Westchester Masters had passed away from cancer. And my friend Cindy Thornton created a Team Jason, and we all joined to kind of support, that fundraising effort. And Swim Across America, I never understood really the importance of it. I mean, the importance of raising money for cancer, but it's for cancer research, and cancer research really doesn't happen unless fundraising is there to help it along.
Mm-hmm.
Fundraising is a big part of getting the research to happen. And my dad's had cancer since, I think it was like 2009. He's had prostate cancer. He's in the care of Sloan. So Cindy ran Team Jason for a couple of years. You know, I learned the importance of it. I started fundraising for her team, and then my coach passed away from cancer in 2021. And I had said to Cindy, you know, I really want to create my own team. I think I can, you know, raise money in her name. And it wasn't easy to do my own team. I managed to do it. I raised $14,000 that year.
Wow.
But the next year I said to Cindy, you know, I think if I start one with Yonkers Masters, our team, and we let people pick the name and they feel like they have some investment in it, you know, we might be able to get more people doing it, because the years that she did Team Jason, like less people were joining and it was harder for her to get people together. So she said, sure, okay, let's see how that goes. And we've done Yonkers Masters Cancer Warriors for 2 years in a row now, and we've raised $20,000 each year we've done it. So in total, we've raised about $40,000 for cancer research just with that one team. So if you like swimming and you want to do something very good in the world, Swim Across America is a great way to earn good karma, I'll tell you that. And fundraising can be a pain. I think a lot of people get scared of it, but you'll be surprised really how fast you can raise $500. It really, you know, you could ask people to donate $10, you know, you just have to find enough people. So it doesn't have to be like these huge amounts. So it's something that means a lot to me. I've been doing it now probably for like 4 or 5 years in total. And it feels good when you're able to do something that can create a difference, because Swim Across America raises money for specific labs in specific hospitals that target specific research to actually find, you know, better treatments and or possible cures for cancer.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna share this. I'm being cancer free. So hearing this, and I just learned about Swim Across America not very long ago, and I only found out about it like 10 days or a week before it was going to happen. And I was feeling bad because I was not able to attend the local one or even raise any funds for it. But my goal after hearing you is definitely to make sure next year, as Swim Stories Unplugged, I'm gonna definitely try to make sure I promote it ahead of time and make sure that people are aware of this Swim Across America and the impact it has on future possible cancer patients. So
yeah, it really can help a lot. And you know, my dad hasn't directly benefited, you know, from any of the research they've been working on, but he has benefited from trial research. So I know firsthand that he's been kept alive with trial research. So that's why it's so important to keep these labs funded and going, because, you know, they made big differences in colon cancer. And if anyone Googles like Swim Across America colon cancer, they'll find the article. It's just very interesting. And, you know, sometimes these treatments, you know, they might be for a specific cancer, but sometimes they're used for other cancers. You know, they end up becoming solutions for others as well. But I would definitely encourage people to do it. Don't let the fundraising scare you.
yeah.
Because they're really incredible events. You'll go and you'll see everyone there, and everyone has some connection to it in some way, whether they lost someone or they survived or they're in treatment or they're just there because, you know, they know it's a good thing to do.
as we mentioned, I just searched on it on the side, and it said this year, Swim Across America raised $125,000. So, which is really incredible. I think, like, that money will definitely go to good use, and yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's amazing what they do. And you can even travel with it. Like it's funny, I've been looking at other Swim Across Americas and I thought, well, maybe one year I'll try the one down in the Keys. Like you could register anywhere in the country and then you
Hmm.
can fly there and do that event. So it's a good I remember hearing that from someone once. He's like, yeah, I travel around and I raise money and I just go to that location and I swim there. I thought
Yeah,
kind of an interesting way to swim at different open water sites.
yeah, that's definitely great.
That's
Thank you
fun.
so much for joining me on Swim Stories Unplugged, Jennifer.
Oh, no problem. It was such a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
And there you have it, Jennifer's unplugged swim story. A beautiful reminder that water isn't just about speed or strokes. It's about unlocking potential, healing the mind, and building community one lap at a time. From from embracing the fly to coaching adult learners and leading the Yonkers Master Cancer Warriors in raising over $40,000 for vital research, Jennifer shows us it's never too late to dive back in or to make waves for good. Huge thanks to Jennifer for sharing her heart and her highs and those humbling DQs with us today. If her story sparked something in you, head over to Swim Across America to learn more about their events and how you can join the fight. Or drop into a Yonkers Masters practice if you're a local. You can make swimming whatever you need it to be fitness, fun, or a force for change. Thanks for tuning into Swim Stories Unplugged. If you've got a story bubbling up, hit us up on social or email. We'd love to hear it. Until next time, keep breathing easy and swimming strong. This is your host, Hetal Sampat, signing off.